Trauma, whether from a single event or accumulated over time, leaves a profound impact on both the mind and body. The invisible wounds left behind by trauma can manifest as emotional distress, chronic anxiety, or physical pain, trapping individuals in cycles of suffering. Healing from trauma requires not only addressing the emotional scars, but also working with the body's deeply ingrained responses to past experiences. Emotional freedom techniques, or EFT, rooted in both ancient practices and modern neuroscience, provides a powerful pathway for releasing these emotional wounds and fostering deep, lasting healing. The nature of trauma. Trauma is an overwhelming experience that the brain and body struggle to process. Whether it stems from an accident, abuse, loss, or prolonged stress, trauma disrupts the nervous system, leaving the individual stuck in a survival mode known as the fight or flight response. In some cases, trauma leads to freeze responses, where the body becomes paralyzed with fear or numbness. Over time, if left unresolved, these responses can manifest as anxiety disorders, PTSD, depression, or physical health issues. The effects of trauma often run deeper than conscious memory. Even when individuals cannot recall the event or have successfully pushed the painful memory aside, the body retains the experience. Renowned experts in trauma therapy, such as Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, emphasize that the body keeps the score. Trauma leaves imprints on the brain and nervous system that are difficult to resolve through cognitive means alone. This is where EFT can play a pivotal role in trauma recovery by integrating the mind and body in the healing process. How trauma holds us back. Trauma creates invisible barriers that hold us back in life, limiting our ability to fully engage with opportunities, relationships, and even our own potential. When we carry unresolved trauma, the brain remains locked in survival mode, constantly scanning for danger. This state of hypervigilance makes it difficult to focus, take risks, or trust others, often leading to self-sabotaging behaviors. Additionally, trauma reinforces limiting beliefs like, "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never be safe," which can block personal and professional growth. Until these emotional patterns are addressed, trauma keeps us stuck in a loop of fear and avoidance, making it difficult to move forward and create the life we desire. How trauma memories are stored. Trauma memories differ significantly from regular memories. Traumatic experiences are often stored as high-definition snapshots in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory consolidation. These vivid, emotionally charged memories remain accessible and can be easily triggered by external stimuli. In contrast, non-traumatic memories are processed more systematically and stored in the neocortex, where they are integrated into our general memory network in a less emotional and more organized manner. Traumatic memories are not time-stamped properly, which means they are experienced as though they are happening in the present moment, making it difficult for individuals to differentiate between the past and current reality. All it takes is a stimulus, such as an image, emotion, or feeling, to reactivate the trauma, causing it to replay in the background of daily life. Trauma and sleep, REM replay, and disrupted rest. Research has shown that trauma often replays during the REM, or rapid eye movement, stage of sleep. This, unfortunately, interferes with the body's ability to rest and recover. During REM sleep, the brain typically processes and integrates emotions and memories. However, for trauma survivors, the brain becomes stuck in a loop of replaying the traumatic experience rather than processing and resolving it. This prevents individuals from achieving restorative sleep, leaving them exhausted, irritable, and unable to heal emotionally. Nightmares, flashbacks, and feelings of anxiety upon waking are common among trauma survivors, which further reinforces the cycle of distress. EFT can help break this cycle by calming the nervous system, allowing for deeper and more restorative sleep. as the brain is less likely to be hijacked by trauma during the REM phase. How EFT heals emotional wounds. EFT is often referred to as emotional acupuncture without the needles, as it involves tapping on specific meridian points on the body while focusing on painful memories or emotional triggers. By doing so, EFT helps to deactivate the body's stress response and sends calming signals to the brain, allowing for the safe release of suppressed emotions. The key mechanism behind EFT's success lies in its ability to bypass the conscious mind and engage with the emotional memory stored in the body's energy system. While traditional talk therapy can help individuals process trauma on a cognitive level, EFT works to release the emotional charge that is held in the body. This holistic approach provides rapid relief from the emotional pain associated with traumatic memories, without the need to re-experience the distress in full detail. Trauma and disease. Unresolved trauma not only affects mental and emotional health, but also has significant implications for physical health. Research has shown that trauma can weaken the immune system, increase inflammation, and make the body more susceptible to chronic illnesses such as heart disease, autoimmune disorders, and even cancer. Trauma disrupts the body's natural healing processes, often leading to conditions like chronic pain, digestive issues, and fatigue. When the body remains in a prolonged state of stress, it releases excessive amounts of cortisol and other stress hormones, which over time contribute to the deterioration of tissues and organs. EFT, by helping individuals release emotional trauma and reduce stress, promotes healing at both the emotional and physical levels, allowing the body to return to a state of balance and health. The science of trauma and EFT. Trauma impacts the brain in ways that can be measured by modern technology. Neuroimaging studies of trauma survivors show heightened activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, and reduced activity in areas related to emotional regulation, such as the prefrontal cortex. When trauma is unresolved, the brain becomes hyperactive in scanning for danger, leaving individuals stuck in a state of high alert. This constant state of stress also impacts the body, increasing the likelihood of chronic pain, digestive issues, heart disease, and autoimmune disorders. EFT's effectiveness in addressing trauma has been studied extensively. Research shows that EFT can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 24%. Lower cortisol levels allow the nervous system to shift out of fight or flight mode, enabling the brain to process emotional memories from a place of safety rather than fear. This not only reduces emotional distress, but also helps the body recover from the physiological toll trauma takes. Additionally, brain scans of individuals who have undergone EFT show a reduction in the overactive patterns of the amygdala and an increase in activity in the prefrontal cortex, supporting improved emotional regulation. Over time, these changes help trauma survivors regain a sense of control over their emotions and reactions, breaking the cycle of reactivity that trauma creates. Uncovering and releasing emotional patterns. One of the most profound aspects of trauma healing through EFT is the way it helps individuals uncover hidden emotional patterns that have been reinforced by the trauma. Often these patterns manifest as limiting beliefs such as, "I'm not safe, I'm not worthy of love," or "I'll always be in pain." These deeply ingrained beliefs drive behaviors, thoughts, and emotions, often keeping individuals stuck in the trauma loop. By gently tapping through layers of emotions, clients can surface these beliefs and confront them without being overwhelmed by their intensity. EFT allows the individual to acknowledge the pain and validate their emotional experience while simultaneously calming the nervous system. This process helps rewire the brain, allowing new, more empowering beliefs to take root. Rewiring the brain for healing. The brain's plasticity, or its ability to change and reorganize itself, is a key element in trauma recovery. Trauma can lock the brain into patterns of fear and survival, but EFT opens the door to new neural pathways. Each time an individual taps through a traumatic memory, the brain begins to associate that memory with safety and calm rather than fear and distress. This rewiring process is supported by research in neuroplasticity, which shows that repetitive actions and emotional releases, such as those facilitated by EFT, can create lasting changes in the brain's structure. Over time, trauma survivors who consistently use EFT experience a reduction in the intensity of their emotional responses to triggers. This process enables them to step out of survival mode and into a place of empowerment and healing. Long-term healing and transformation. Trauma recovery is a journey, but EFT provides a tool that accelerates healing in profound ways. By addressing both the emotional and physiological components of trauma, EFT creates a bridge between the mind and body, restoring balance and peace. Many individuals report feeling lighter, freer, and more in control after just a few sessions of EFT, as the weight of long-held emotional pain begins to lift. Over time, as the emotional wounds heal, clients often experience greater clarity, a deeper connection with themselves, and a renewed sense of purpose. EFT not only resolves the pain of the past, but also empowers individuals to create a future that is no longer defined by trauma.